And my buddy Nick Wright. It's Nick Wright Wednesday in the Herd. Host First Things First. All right, Trey Lance. I watched him last year.
Yeah.
It was a little choppy. I've said before, maybe it's because he's so handsome. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is way better than people think. But here we go. Here's the pivot. Yeah. Is Trey Lance ready, Mr. Nick Wright?
Well, I don't know if he's ready. Nobody knows if he's ready, but they're obviously making the right decision. It is mystifying to me because I work with a couple Jimmy G truthers, Chris Broussard and Kevin Wilds, and now I'm talking to you, another Jimmy G truther. It's like the whole league doesn't want him, Colin. Is the whole league wrong on Jimmy Garoppolo? There was a market. It was a minimal market. There was a market for Baker Mayfield. There is no market for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't know what. This is what has happened. The Niners go to the Super Bowl, and the team looks at their quarterback and says, you hurt us, not helped us. We'll trade 3 first-round picks for your replacement. They then go to the NFC Championship game, and the team says, you're never going to take another snap from us. The team's offensive coordinator gets a job in Miami, who needs a quarterback so badly, they tried to, it would appear, lure Tom Brady into some weird ownership agreement so he could then become the quarterback. That's the former Niners offensive coordinator, the head coach there. He doesn't want Jimmy Garoppolo. Drew Lock's a starting quarterback. Mitch Trubisky, you guys talking about Mitch Trubisky. That's another quarterback. This show's very high on Mitch Trubisky. He might be a starting quarterback. Marcus Mariota's a starting quarterback. Jimmy Garoppolo's not. That's all you need to know. Here's a fun Jimmy Garoppolo fact, Colin.
Okay.
He has 4 career playoff wins. He has 1 passing touchdown in those 4 wins. 1. He has 500 combined passing yards in those 4 career playoff wins, 125 a game. He's a very, very good backup quarterback, and that's what he's about to be.
Whoa.
Oh, what? The whole league agrees with me. Okay. Why has no one traded for him?
Okay, well, let me ask you this then. Because there are a lot of market factors. For instance, there's no market for Kevin Durant. Is he a backup? Why is there no market?
That's not true.
Well,
that's not true.
What's the market?
There is a huge market.
Where?
Well, evidently the market was Jaylen Brown, Derek White, and 1 draft pick.
Yeah.
And then they countered with Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, another player, and multiple draft picks. That's another thing. I missed the very beginning of the show. I hope you got some things right in the beginning of the show because you enjoyed during Herdline News. It was just 10 minutes of wrong opinions. He was like, Kevin Durant's not getting traded. He is getting traded. Mitch Trubisky, he's a good quarterback. Like, what are you guys talking about? Durant, there's a market for Kevin Durant.
All right.
Now, the Nets have set the price so high, it's going to be hard to meet their asking price. But I think Durant's getting traded. And unlike Jimmy Garoppolo, who nobody wants except for you and the Subway advertisers.
He is a good-looking guy. So I think I was alone on this. I don't think I'm a contrarian opinionist. I don't. I have my opinion. Where it lands, it lands. I don't really give a rip. And I did when I looked at the pushback on Kyler Murray, and my takeaway was I got a lot of kids. All of them have a different process. Kyler Murray was 42-0 in high school, Heisman winner, Rookie of the Year, and is gotten this chaotic franchise to the playoffs. In his process, it works for him. Not everybody is Kobe. Not everybody is obsessed. Big Ben and Brett Favre. Brett Favre was romanticized as a gunslinger. Translation, didn't know what a nickel defense was 5 years in the league. And we romanticized it. Kyler is a brilliant, intuitive player that goes on instinct. He's prepping enough. I know that. You don't win Rookie of the Year if you're not prepping at all. And so my takeaway is this is the process that works for him, and it's working at every level.
Okay, so I partially agree with you. The part I agree with you on is when you're the greatest player in the history of Texas high school football, which he might be, and then you win the Heisman, and then you're the number 1 pick of the draft, and then you have some instant success in the NFL, I don't blame you for thinking my way works. Now, I don't think you can be a top-flight NFL quarterback in today's NFL without serious film study. So I think he does have to evolve. Where I disagree with you on, or I don't even know if I disagree with you. My big takeaway on this, Colin, is that this is the fact that the Cardinals put this in writing, knowing these contracts are filed with the league and they all immediately become essentially public. Mm-hmm. The fact that they put it in writing, not only the 4 hours, but the line where it's like, and by the way, no playing Call of Duty while you're allegedly watching film. It is, to me, the mark of an unserious franchise. You can't, if you cannot simultaneously say, here is $250 million, but it comes with a nanny cam. We got to be able to check in to make sure you're working. That is an untenable position to me. Now, if they wanted to have a handshake agreement on this, Kyler, listen, you're going to have to do more film study than you've done, then I think that's fine. But the fact that they thought they had to put it in writing to where it could void his guarantees, to me, is indicative that they don't truly, fully trust him, which you shouldn't be in that position for a guy you just gave $230 million to.
By the way, you didn't hear my Kevin Durant take to start, did you? You didn't hear it.
No, I didn't. What was it?
Okay, so here, I'll just throw it to you. Is that he's being lumped in. The league is clearly pivoting a lot of execs to, we're over the diva high maintenance guys. He's being lumped in with Kyrie, Simmons, Harden, and Westbrook. And this is what happens on Wall Street with sectors. Netflix has a bad quarter. Everybody's like, streaming is dead. It's like, no, it's not. Streaming's not dead. It had a bad quarter. Kevin Durant, as the league is transitioning, a lot of execs are saying the Celtics are about culture, the Bucks are about culture, the Suns are about culture, the Warriors are about culture. Kevin Durant is being lumped in as high maintenance. 29 a game, 52%, plays hard, plays defense. When he's available physically, he gives you everything he has, and he is being lumped in. Be careful of the friends you choose. He's being lumped in as like a Kyrie, Harden, declining, odd, and I'm like, he's the best get-a-bucket guy in the league. And I do think he has to break up with Kyrie. He gets lumped into that group, and I don't think it's fair, that take.
Yeah, that I agree with. And I agree with that it not being fair. I'm not sure how much he is. I think there is a healthy market for Kevin Durant. I just think the Nets, they know they have time on their side, so they are asking for the moon and the stars, which they should. He is one of the, at worst, 6 best players in the league, and he will be for the next few years. Here is what I think, Colin, is the most interesting part of the Durant trade, which is it really not even specifically about Durant, but it is about the value of young, excellent players in the NBA.
Yeah.
So, for instance, when the Celtics called for Kevin Durant, the discussion was about Jaylen Brown because it is just understood that Jason Tatum is not available.
Right.
And everyone understands that, well, Jason Tatum shouldn't be available. But let me just posit this to you, okay? Do we all agree that Kevin Durant right now is better than Jason Tatum? I don't care if Tatum beat him in a series. Durant's better than him.
Yes.
And I would argue Durant is almost assuredly going to be better than Tatum for at least the next 2 or 3 seasons.
All right.
So people are like, yeah, but you can't trade Jason Tatum because he's 10 years younger.
Yeah.
In today's era of player mobility and player movement, how valuable is a young superstar when there is no guarantee that he spends more than the current contract, if that, with your franchise? And so I heard, I heard when it came to the Raptors, the argument was, well, Scotty Barnes, are you going to trade 15 years of Scotty Barnes for 4 years of Kevin Durant? And my response to that would be, Scotty Barnes is going to play in the NBA for 15 years.
Yeah.
But what are the odds he plays for your team for even half of those? So I think that is a factor here when it comes to who should and shouldn't be available for Durant.
Yeah, well, you got that one right. The Garoppolo one, I want you to work on a little bit, sandpaper that one a little bit. And,
listen, Colin, hold on. I know we're short on time, so cut me off if you need to. How many friends of yours are GMs in this league? By my count of your name drops, at least a half dozen. Sure. Why don't you put them on a group text and say, why is no one trading for Jimmy Garoppolo? Why is there no market for Jimmy Garoppolo?
All right, I will.
Why does no one in the league want him? Ask them. Find out.
I will.
See what the answer is.
And I'm sure they'll respond to me immediately. Yes, they're not busy or anything. Let's get to Cowherd's stupid text. They'll rush right to their phones for that. All right, Nick Wright. Good seeing you, buddy.
Yeah, they will. Good to see you, buddy. Bye.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.